This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2022 Sunset Trail model 268RL. So this isn't a sales video. This is just a how-to video. So I'm going to show you some of the features and how they work. Okay. First of all, you have power stabilizers on this trailer. You have one switch operates both rear, right? And then there's another switch up front that operates both front. Okay. Now you have an outside kitchen here. You got an AC refrigerator, and then you have this griddle here. Now the griddle has to be plugged in, so it comes with a hose. There's the male end of it right there. Hopefully you can see that. I can't see the monitor that well, the way the sun is. And that would plug in right here to that quick connector right there, okay? Water heater. So right now it's empty because the trailer is winterized, so the water heater is empty and in bypass mode. This is the cap for the drain. 1/16 socket on that one, I believe. Anyway, you can see it's drained right here. Now the switches to operate it are inside. What you have to remember is never run the water heater on any energy source unless you have water in the tank. So you always want to make sure you have water in the tank before you do that. Like I said, right now it's empty because it's winterized. Power awning with LED strip, outside speakers, signal and power for a TV set, for a TV set. Of course, this is your front switch for your stabilizers. Well, we're looking in here, we have your stuff here. So this is you get a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. We'll show you how that operates when you pick up your trailer. This is your Bluetooth brake controller. Now also there's some cranks in here. Let me move this stuff over to a better position here. Okay, so you can see you got the sprayer here, which is for your there's one, probably two spray ports on this trailer. I'll point them out as we get to them. So that's where that goes. Now this crank right here, this is for the power tongue jack, this small crank. That's in case it fails. You can put that in the top of the jack. I'll show you where, and you can crank it manually. Now this one, you can crank your landing gear in, or not your landing gear, I'm sorry, your stabilizer jacks. You can crank those in manually. You can see this is like a cylinder with a slot cut in it. Well, there'll be a shaft with a pin through it that will accept that. So let's look and see over here. I can find them. They're tucked up underneath there, right there. Hopefully you can. I'm looking at my monitor. Hopefully you can see that right there. There's a shaft with a pin through it. Well, you can put that crank on there and crank the front and the rear stabilizer jacks to get yourself out of trouble if something was to happen. And when it comes to your power tongue jack here, you can pull this plug out of the top and use that crank that I showed you in there, the smaller crank. You use it to crank this up and down manually if you needed to. So those are both good features. You have obviously a power tongue jack. You have two LP tanks which come full. You have a deep cycle marine battery right here. And this is the kill switch for your battery, so you can shut it on and off if you need to. Like if you're putting it to storage for a period of time, you can shut it off so it doesn't drain down as quickly. All right. This is just your dump hose that comes with it. This is just a reducer for your shore power cord. They're saying here that this is pre-wired for solar, so there's probably a hookup on the roof too if you wanted to add a panel. So the wiring has been run through the walls basically. This is the most common way to get water to your trailer right here. It's the city water hookup. So you just hook up to that and you're all set. Now if you go camping someplace that doesn't have city water, there's no plumbing on the campsites, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here, use the onboard pump, and you can pump the water, and everything will work just as though you had city water. Okay? this is your black tank flush right here, this one. So after you dump your black tank, of course the black tank is toilet water and waste. After you dump that, you can put the hose of the dump station right on here, turn it on, it'll spray out the inside of your black tank. It'll clean off the sensors, that sort of thing. Okay? And of course these are valves down here. Black is black valves, black water tank, toilet water and waste. The gray one is sink and shower water. So just so you know, this slide out, this type of slide out is called a AccuSlide. There are different kinds, so yours is an AccuSlide. Alright. Your power cord, 30 feet long, 30 amp, and I told you we give you the one reducer to reduce it down to a 20. Okay, this is just campground cable and satellite through right here. It's pre-wired for a backup camera, as you can see. So if you want to add one, you can do it right there. Also, while we're looking up here, you need to inspect the roof. Per the manufacturer, you should inspect it every 90 days. So keep in mind, you want to make sure that there's no cracking or separation. You want to make sure none of the roof attachments or roofing material or anything like that was damaged by low branches or road debris. Just give it a good inspection, make sure everything's okay. If you see anything, take care of it immediately. Odds are you'll be up there, going up there for years before you have to do anything, but you just don't know. That's why you inspect it, just to protect yourself. Okay. This is the spray port. All right. Okay, so let's go inside. Okay. Let me find some light here. Okay. So, you have your power awning, extend and retract here. You can see right there. Very simple. Never leave it out unattended, or else it can get damaged by the wind very quickly. Your slide room switch is right here, in and out. Remember, yours is an AccuSlide. Your water pump, you can turn it on right there. Water pump is for pumping water out of the fresh water tank. It's also used to winterize the trailer. To let your water heater on gas, this one. Electricity, this one. Remember, right now the tank's empty. You never turn that on without water in the tank. You gotta always make sure it's full. And you have tank heaters on this one, so you have heating pads on all the tanks, plus on the by the valves or elbows they'll have generally another piece of heating pad material, so it'll extend your camping season. You'll be able to stay out longer in the fall and go out earlier in the winter, that sort of thing. Okay. And of course all your levels: battery, fresh water tank, black, so on and so forth. Gray 1, gray 2. Gray 1, it shows 2 blacks, but there's only 1 black tank in this one because there's only 1 bathroom. Then the first gray tank will be for the sink and the shower here, and then the second one will be something called a galley tank, which is a second gray tank, and it will be for the kitchen sink. Okay, just so you know that. Notice your trailer's still a little dirty. Just so you know that we're still cleaning it. We haven't finished yet. So, okay. All right. So the thermostat, it works like any other thermostat. You hit the mode bar and it lights up, and then you just scroll through the 3 options. The 3 options are fan, which is the air conditioner running without the compressor, and then you'll have cool, which is air conditioning, and then of course heat, which is propane heat. If they give you an option of fan speed, always choose auto if they give you the option. Okay. Alright, so you have remotes here. We've got a new guy who's working, and he's got his own spot here. Okay, so that's your TV remote, obviously. That's your fireplace remote. Okay, that's your battery for your smoke detector. Now, the fireplace remote, which is right here, hopefully you can see that. Basically, this one has first thing you have to do is come over here. Let me get this straight because I haven't looked at this yet. Yeah, over here. So on this switch, you have to choose between air conditioner and fireplace. So you can't run them both at the same time, obviously, because it's a 30 amp system. So in this case, we'll choose fireplace because we're not using the air conditioner on a cool day like today. And then we go with the remote here. It lights up. And let me get down here so we can see. So that's pretty much a standard kind of fire there. You can You can change it a bit, make it dimmer. You can make it nice and bright. There is a timer on this, so you could set the timer to turn on, you know, 20 minutes before you get up in the morning, whatever. The thing is, it runs on electricity, and it's a space heater. It has fans in it and everything. So it runs on electricity, and you've got a limited supply of LP gas. So on those days where you don't need a furnace, you can just turn this on and take the chill out without using up any gas. Of course, then you can go this way to your temperatures, so on and so forth. Okay, it's very simple. All right, so that's that. Now, while I'm down here, dirt makes me crazy here, but like I said, we're still cleaning. This is the power converter right here. So this converts AC to DC power. So on this side, you have circuit breakers like you'd see at home. They're AC circuit breakers, and they're all labeled right here. All right. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side. So you got 12 volt fuses here, and they're all labeled. So if any of these 12 volt fuses were to blow for any of these different appliances, it'll light up, and you can actually see it glowing through this tinted plastic right here. It's very rare that they blow, because there would have to be something wrong with it, or a short or something like that, which is very rare. So odds are you won't have to touch them. But if you do get like a wild lightning strike or a super power surge or something at the campground, and the 12 volt side goes out, you always look at these 240s first. They're not going to light up like the other ones, but odds are that's where the problem would be. So if you're bringing extra fuses, you can just, there's some odd size, but you can just have a few 15s and a few 40s, and it could get yourself out of trouble no matter what, okay? And the last but very important thing that this does, it's a battery tender. So as long as you're plugged in, it senses how much energy your battery needs and keeps it charged up. If it's, you know, like topped off, it'll just trickle a couple amps to maintain it. If it's low, it'll send 10 amps, whatever it needs. When you're plugged in, this will charge your battery. Of course, when you're towing it down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator charges the battery. So, okay. All right. So, this TV is more than just a TV. Let me get the remote here. I guess I could show you just as easily by looking at the sticker. We won't have to go through all that. But this has two speaker zones, 1 and 2. 1 is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer. It has FM radio, so it's actual radio. It has Bluetooth, so you can stream from your phone or your tablet to the TV set. HDMI in, and of course you can charge off of it also. So it takes the place of a radio or a sound system, and but it does all the same thing. So keep that in mind. When it comes to accessing everything, once you turn it on, you can get it to pop up here, and you could select just the inside speaker or just the outside speaker or both, whatever you need to do. Okay. All right. Also, let me look behind this here. Yeah, this swings out, so always be aware of that, and make sure you don't accidentally get it caught up in your slide room when you're, you know, if it's in and this thing was to swing open or outward, you could get it stuck. So always make sure you take a look at that, just to be safe. Okay, so your microwave works like any other microwave. This is the range hood vent. You have a fan and a light, of course. This is your range in itself. I don't know if he's got gas hooked up right now or not, but we'll find out. So basically, this is the sparking knob. You turn it clockwise to spark. Then you have your 3 burner knobs, 3 burners, 3 knobs. Then you have your oven knob there. So let's see if he's got the gas turned on. Yes, he does. So there you see it right there. Okay. Now, when it comes to the oven, it's a little bit different. All the way at the back down there is a pilot light. Let me see if I can spark it so you can see it. There you can probably see that. So what you do is you go to the oven knob, you go to the picture of the flame, which means pilot light, and you depress it like that, and you keep it depressed. Then you spark it with the other hand until it lights. Once it lights, you hold it in for another 10 seconds or so to heat it up. Then you just swing over and put it to whatever temperature you want to run at, and it'll cycle like an oven does. But when you shut it off, the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light, so you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Okay, this is telling us that we're pre-wired for a Wi-Fi extender or
yeah, basically a Wi-Fi signal extender. So what it does is it will basically take public Wi-Fi, like campground Wi-Fi, and you'll get a much better signal. So what it consists of is a roof on the antenna, or no, make that an antenna on the roof, and then there would be a router inside the trailer. So that's what they're talking about with that right there, okay? It's just an option. All the air conditioner comes out of the ceiling, and all the heat comes out of the lower part. Alright, you can drop your table down onto the cleats around it. You can drop it down onto there and use the back cushions to fill in space, and you got another bed there. This is let me see what it is here. These cushions pull off, and it's a hide bed, so it's a 3-panel bed, so it's foam also, so it's not so bad, not like they used to be anyway. The refrigerator is very simple. It's a 12-volt refrigerator, and all you need to know is on and off here, your temperature up and down, and then there's different power saving modes if you want to save energy, for example. But that's all there is to it. It's just turn it on and you're all set. Okay? So that will run off your battery. If you're pulling it down the road, your battery would be sending power to this, for example, and your tow vehicle will be charging your battery. When you're plugged in, your 12 volts to run the refrigerator will be coming from the power converter. Okay? Alright. So, sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. Keep in mind you got a GFCI right here, which means all the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI. So keep that in mind. Your toilet, there's a flush pedal right there. I don't know if you know RV toilets. I'll assume you don't here for a minute. That's antifreeze you see in there right now because we're winterized. That's residual pressure. Right, but when you step on the pedal, right below it is the black tank. That's the black tank. So you can't have, you have to have chemical and water in it before you start using it. So you'll get to the campground, you hook up your power and water, you'll come in here with one dose of toilet chemical. You'll put it right in the bowl. Then because you were hooked up to water, you'll step on the pedal and water will come swirling around and wash it into the black tank below. You stand on that pedal long enough to put about a gallon or so of water in the tank along with the chemical. It doesn't have to be exact. The main thing is you can't use it dry. If you do, the smell will be terrible and it can get clogged up. It's just a mess. So always start off when the black tank has been flushed and is empty and you're going to use it again. Always start off with water and chemical. Okay, that's important. Alright, so this device here is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector right there. You can see it's green like that right there where it should be. Always, if it's not green, get it serviced. If it goes off, take everybody outside, shut the gas off at the front, figure out what's going on, leave the door open. Also, if it beeps the same tone but very slowly, it's telling you your battery's low. So it does all three. Here we go. LP check is good. Carbon monoxide coming up. Good. And then low battery alarm. And then it goes back to green like it should be. Like I said, if it's not green, get it serviced. Okay. Turn the light switch here. Okay. So you have TV hookups here, and then you have a backer plate. If you see that white sticker there, so you could put a TV bracket right there. That's your emergency escape window. You have some storage underneath the bed. This is all pretty basic, self-evident stuff. You got some closet space, which is always good in an RV or a boat, either one. This I have to adjust it up a bit, but this is the emergency window. You just go like this. You would push it all the way through like that, and then you would grab a hold of this tab and pull the screen out, and then you can just out you go. Okay. So let me look around here, see if I forgot anything. I think we've got it all. Okay, yeah, it looks good. So, okay, I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. And please remember what I said, the manufacturer wants you to inspect the roofs and seals every 90 days. So take care of that. And also, right now it's winterized. The water heater's empty and in bypass mode. Okay, thanks.